Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are safe. My name is Krishna Mukesh Kumar Patel, and today in this video we are going to do lesson number 2 of science, components of food. So let's begin with the video. So what are nutrients? The food we eat has some chemical substances called nutrients. These nutrients are essential food components that provide nourishment for proper growth and proper development of our body. And our body needs these nutrients so that we can maintain a good health. These nutrients are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. In addition to these nutrients, there are two other important components of food, that is water and roughage. Now let's learn about it in detail. Let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are energy giving foods as they are the main source of energy, and this energy is used by us in various activities. Now carbohydrates are of two types: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Basically, simple carbohydrates they digest quickly and provide instant energy. They are broken down into simple substances, generally glucose, that are then absorbed by our blood. Some examples of simple carbohydrates are sugar. Some of the edible sugars are sucrose, which is table sugar, lactose, which is found in milk, fructose or maltose, which is found in fruits, and glucose. Now, complex carbohydrates take longer time to digest. They are first broken down into simple carbohydrates and then into simple substances. These simple substances, which is glucose, they are absorbed by our blood and they provide instant energy to our body. Now, starch is a complex carbohydrate that fulfills majority of our carbohydrate requirements. Some common examples of starchy food are corn, rice, wheat, bread, and potato. If we consume more carbohydrates which are required by our body, so this extra carbohydrates they are converted into fats and then they are stored into our body. Now, if I tell you the difference between simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates, so it will be simple carbohydrates digest quickly, whereas complex carbohydrates take longer time to digest. Now if I tell you that where the simple carbohydrates are used, so for example, if you are going out to play, if you are playing football or cricket, so what will happen, you will feel low, right? You'll feel that there is not that much energy. So that time what do, you drink glucose. You mix the glucose into the water, which will give you instant energy. So this glucose bottle which you are going to drink, that is some example of simple carbohydrates. If you are eating corn, rice, so this corn or rice, or if you are eating chapati, that is carbohydrates only, but it takes longer time to digest. So that is the reason we sometimes talk, so that thing can digest quickly into our body, because first of all they are broken down into simple carbohydrates and then into glucose, and this glucose is absorbed by our blood and they provide us energy to the body. Now let's talk about fats. Fats are also energy giving food. A gram of fats release twice the energy which is released by the same quantities of carbohydrates or proteins. If we consume these fats in moderate quantities, neither in very less or nor more, so that is essential for our body. At least we should eat in moderate quantities. Now basically these fats, they form a layer under our skin and provide us warmth. Now if you see some fatty tissues are present in our eyes and kidneys, and it protects our eyes and kidneys. Now fats are obtained from animals and plants. Now we obtain butter, ghee, meat and eggs from the animals. And now plants provide us vegetable oil such as groundnut oil, coconut oil, mustard oil, sunflower oil and nuts such as almonds and cashews. If you eat a little bit of gram of fat, or a very less if you eat, so that is the twice energy which is released by the same quantity of our carbohydrates or proteins. So if you consume carbohydrates, so more twice of that energy is released by fat. So we should eat it in moderate quantities, which is essential for our body. Now let's talk about proteins. Proteins are essential for making the cells. As we grow, more cells are made. So proteins are required for maintaining the proper health of cells. How? By repairing and replacing the worn out cells. Growing children and the sick people they need more proteins compared to others. Proteins are obtained by both plants and animals. Now, for example, plants provide soya beans, pulses, peas, and groundnuts. Meat, eggs, fish, and milk are protein rich foods which are obtained by animals. Now, protein rich foods, they are known as bodybuilding foods because proteins are helping us to make the new cells and they repair the worn out cells. That means that proteins help us for making the cells. Now let's talk about vitamins. So there is vitamin A. Now vitamin B is divided into some types. Vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B12, and vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K is different types of vitamins. Now what are the sources of vitamin A? Papaya, carrot, mango, pumpkin, and milk are the sources of vitamin A. If you are having glasses, the doctor advises us to eat some sources of vitamin A like carrot, mango, and pumpkin, papaya, because this vitamin A sources helps us to keep our eyes and our skin healthy. So that is why sometimes we drink carrot juice, papaya juice, mango juice, so that it helps our eyes and skin healthy. Now vitamin B1, B2, B3 and B12 has the same sources, but their functions are a little bit different. Now milk, green vegetables, peas, eggs, cereals, tomatoes are some sources of vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3 and vitamin B12. Now vitamin B1 are required for the normal growth and development of our body. Vitamin B2 is essential for proper functioning of our nerves. Vitamin B3 is required for various reactions taking place in the body. The reactions which take place in our body is acidity, then respiration, digestion. Vitamin B12 is essential for the production of blood cells in our bone marrow. Now let's talk about vitamin C. Now all the sour things are some examples of vitamin C. For example, amla, green chili, then some citrus fruits such as oranges, lemons and tomatoes. So these are sources of vitamin C which are sour in taste. They help us to fight against some diseases. Now let's talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D sources are milk, butter, eggs and sunlight. So if we take morning sunlight, so we will get vitamin D. It helps our body to use the calcium for the strong bones and teeth. Now let's talk about vitamin E. Whole grains, green leafy vegetables, nuts and olives are some sources of vitamin E. Vitamin E is essential for general fitness and good skin. Now vitamin K sources are green leafy vegetables. It helps in clotting of blood. Clotting of blood means that when our blood changes to liquid in some gel kind of thing. So as you can see in the sources, milk are almost everywhere. So it can be like that all the vitamin sources can be little bit of same. So let's talk about minerals now. Minerals are important elements which is required for maintaining a good health and well-being. Now they are required in small quantities, but they are very important. Some important minerals are iron, calcium, iodine, sodium, phosphorus, potassium, fluorine and magnesium. Now deficiency of these minerals can cause deficiency disease. That means that loss of any mineral can cause deficiency disease. Let's talk about iron. Iron is important for the formation of a red colored pigment which is called hemoglobin in our blood. This pigment is essential for the transport of oxygen through the blood. Sometimes we think that why is blood of red color? So it is red color due to the presence of hemoglobin. Now green leafy vegetables, apple, jaggery, figs and guava are some examples of iron. Now let's talk about calcium. Calcium is essential for the development of bones and teeth. It is present in foods such as milk, milk products like butter, cheese, eggs, broccoli and turnip. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is also required for healthy bones and teeth. It is found in milk, fish, bananas, and whole grains. Iodine. Iodine is essential for the normal functioning of body and its growth and development. It is present in seafood such as fish and ponds and salt. Potassium. Potassium is required for building the muscles and maintaining normal body growth. Some examples of potassium are meat, fish, milk, pea, tomato, citrus fruits, banana, and kiwi. Sodium. It is essential for the proper functioning of muscles and nerves in the body. It is naturally found in several food items such as milk. Table salt is also an example of sodium. Fluorine. Small amounts of fluorine are required for maintaining the general health of bones and teeth. However, excess of it can cause teeth problems like fluorosis. It is present in traces in water and seafood. Magnesium. Magnesium is important for proper functioning of heart and muscles. It is found in legumes, broccoli, green leafy vegetables, whole grains, and almonds. So let's talk about roughage. We are often advised to include raw food such as salad in a diet and eat fruits along with the peel. Plant food materials contains lot of fiber in the form of cellulose. This help in easy bowel movements and removal of undigested food. Roughage-rich diet has been found to keep away diseases like cancer. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and pulses are rich in fiber or roughage. Now, if you want to keep yourself away from some diseases, you should eat salad and fruits with a peel. That means fruits with the outer covering of that fruit. Water. Water is not considered a nutrition, yet it is essential for our survival. About 70% of our body weight is water. Water is important in many ways. Some of them are: first, it helps our body in absorbing nutrition. Second, it helps in transporting substances inside our body like oxygen and blood. Third, it helps in removal of wastes from our body through sweat and urine. Fourth, it helps in regulating our body temperature. Our body loses water continuously through urine and sweat. So, we should fill our body with water. Otherwise, it can lead to dehydration. So, we should drink at least 7 to 8 glasses of water daily. Balanced diet. The food we eat forms our diet. Our diet must include nutrition in the right and equal proportion, neither too little nor in excess. A diet that contains all different types of nutrition in a correct amount is known as a balanced diet. Such a diet also includes enough water and roughage. The diet of a particular person depends on various factors such as the age of the person, gender, the type of work, and the condition of the body, whether diseases or healthy. Growing children and pregnant women and lactating mothers need more proteins, as proteins are bodybuilding components of food. So basically the balanced diet is which has everything in a correct amount, in an equal amount. We should eat balanced diet so that we can have a good health with all the things, with all the minerals and nutritions equal. Correct way to cook. Some foods are eaten raw and some types of food have to be cooked before eating. Cooking adds flavor to food and makes it easy to digest. We should make sure some important points while cooking, which are overheating, overboiling, and deep frying are not good ways of cooking food, as they destroy the nutrients present in the food and add extra calories. Vitamin C is easily destroyed due to overheating. Use of excess water while cooking is not desirable. Washing cut fruits and vegetables removes many nutrients from it, so wash them before cutting. Washing of rice and pulses repeatedly removes nutrients from them. That means that we should never overheat, neither overboil and not fry it, because it's not a good way of cooking, because it destroys the nutrients which is present in that food and it's going to add calories into it. Now vitamin C is destroyed because of overheating. Now use of excess water in cooking, that is not a good thing. If you want to wash, so first of all you should wash fruits and vegetables and then you should cut it. Because if you cut it, so then nutrients will be removed from that. And you should never wash the rice and pulses repeatedly. Just do it once, because if you do it repeatedly, so that will remove the nutrients from them. Let's talk about deficiency diseases. If our body doesn't get sufficient amount of certain vitamins and minerals for a long time, we might suffer from certain diseases called deficiency diseases. Our body starts showing signs and symptoms of deficiencies. It is the result of malfunctioning of the body due to the lack of nutrition in the body. Now, if we don't eat every minerals and vitamins in an equal amount, if we eat less vitamins and minerals for a very long time, so we will suffer from the diseases, that is deficiency diseases. It is the result of failure of the body due to the loss of the nutrients in the body. Now let's see some deficiency diseases that are caused due to the lack of nutrition in the body. If we are having lack of proteins, so it will cause the deficiency diseases, that is kwashiorkor. So what are some signs and symptoms of that? In children, it leads to stunted growth. It will prevent us from developing or growing, you can tell. So it will not let us grow and develop properly. Discoloration of hair. That means that color of our hair will be not there. Patchy skin. It means that our skin will get dry and it will be add some other color and red like that. Thinning of legs or swollen stomach. If not treated in the time, it may also affect in the functioning of the brain. The symptoms are that it will not let our body develop or grow, and our hair will also get some light color. Then our skin will get dry and that part will be get little bit of red. Then our legs will be also thin, will have swollen stomach. So it is very important to treat it at that time when we get to know, because if we don't treat at time, so that is also going to affect to the functioning of our brain. So it is very important. Proteins and carbohydrates. In children, it leads to thinning, weight loss and weakness. Loose folds of skin can be observed on the patient's body. Name of this deficiency disease due to the lack of nutrition, that is proteins and carbohydrates, is marasmus. So in this disease, our body will get thin, will have weight loss also, and we will feel very weak. Vitamin A, poor vision in dim light, and name of this disease is night blindness. So we may have heard the word night blindness in our previous classes also. So in this deficiency, we will not be able to see very good in dim light. Dim light means in very less light. That means that if we consume vitamin A less, there will be less vision in dim light and we will have night blindness. If we have lack of vitamin B1, we will face the deficiency disease beriberi. In this disease, there will be weakening of muscles, altered muscle coordination, and degeneration of nerves. So in this disease, what will happen? There will be some weakening of muscles. Our muscles will be weak. We will have some altered muscle coordination, and the nerves will get worse day by day. Vitamin B2. If we consume vitamin B2 less, so we will have disease pellagra. In this disease, there will be inflammation of skin, diarrhea, and memory disorder. So in the disease of pellagra, what will happen that our skin will get white, we will have diarrhea, and our memory will get like very less, and we will forget the things. So this kind of symptoms will be observed in this disease. If we don't eat vitamin C properly, so we will have scurvy. In this disease, what will happen? Our gums will bleed, internal bleeding will be there, and delayed wound healing will be also there. Vitamin D. In children, it causes softening and weakening of bones, leading to bow-shaped legs. Bones become brittle and thus easily breakable. This disease is rickets. So, our bones are usually very hard. But if we have this disease, so what will happen that our bones will be very weak, it will be soft, and we will be having bow-shaped legs. Bones will become brittle, means very hard, and it will be easily breakable. Calcium. If we don't consume calcium, so we will have osteoporosis and hypocalcemia. In this disease, what will happen? Our bone and tooth will be decayed. सड़ जाएंगे. Iodine. Swelling of the thyroid gland which is present in the neck, poor growth in infancy and mental retardation. This kind of disease is goiter. So there will be some swelling in our neck and there will be poor growth in childhood. Anemia is a disease which is caused due to the lack of iron. In this disease, there will be low energy levels, there will be paleness, there will be loss of appetite and reduced growth. It is caused because of the presence of less oxygen in the body. Lack of iron decreases hemoglobin in blood and hence decreases the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. As I told you before also, that hemoglobin transport blood and oxygen into the body and our blood gets red. So if hemoglobin is not there, so there will be decrease in oxygen, and as hemoglobin carries oxygen and blood, so there will be low capacity of blood also. Due to lack of nutrition phosphorus, we will have bad teeth and weak bones and we will feel very weak. If we have lack of fluorine, so we will have weak teeth and bones, which is known as dental caries and osteoporosis. Now, if we have lack of sodium, we have a disease that is called muscle cramps. And in this disease, there will be loss of appetite and there will be very weakness. Due to loss of chlorine, we will have weakness and cramps, which is low blood pressure. The name of deficiency disease caused due to the loss of calcium is known as hypocalcemia and osteoporosis. In this disease, there will be numbness, abnormal heart rhythm and muscle cramps, and there will be loss of bone mass, because as I said you that calcium helps to make bone and teeth strong. So if we don't consume it, so there will be loss of bone also. Magnesium. If we don't consume magnesium, we will have muscle cramps and there will be muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, and there will be nausea. Now let's see some facts about food. Eating too much fat-rich food can make us overweight and lead to obesity. Consumption of excess fats can cause cholesterol in our arteries and make them narrow. This makes flow of blood in arteries difficult and may lead to heart attack and other heart diseases. That means that we should not consume fats more and not that much less. So we should consume fats in moderate quantities. Our brain will not be able to function properly if we not consume fats at all. So that means that we have to consume fats, but not that much, which can cause obesity and we can also get heart attacks and other heart diseases. Do you know why junk food is called so? It is because junk food has almost no nutritional value except for fats and sugar. Hence, eating excess of candies, chocolates, ice creams, burgers, and drinking too much Coca-Cola or cold drinks makes us obese. So, we should eat candies, chocolates, ice creams, burgers, and cold drinks in limited amount. Laborers need more carbohydrates because their work involves physical activities. So we may have seen that laborers are eating more carbohydrates because their work is involving physical activities which takes very long time. So they feel low, so they have low energy. So to increase that energy, they consume carbohydrates which provides them instant energy and digest very quickly. People who are sick are advised not to eat fatty food since it is difficult to digest fats. That means that if you are sick, so you should not eat that much fatty food because it is very difficult to digest fat. Foods rich in vitamins and minerals are known as protective food. Now let's see the summary of this chapter. Components of food. The components of food are nutritions. The food we eat has some chemical substances which are called nutritions. They are essential components of food that provide the nourishment to the body. Some important nutritions are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Carbohydrates and fats are energy giving foods. Fats help to keep our body warm and protect important organs inside our body. Proteins are bodybuilding foods. Vitamins and minerals are essential for the normal functioning of the body. They are protective foods. Balanced diet. A diet that contains all types of nutrients in correct amounts and in equal amounts is a balanced diet. It also includes moderate amounts of roughage and water. Use a right way to cook. It is essential to cook food in a proper manner. Otherwise, it may result in the loss of nutrition. Deficiency diseases. Deficiency of any nutrition in our body over a long period of time can lead to deficiency diseases. So I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. And if yes, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And yes, don't forget to comment me. Thank you so much. Bye. Stay home, stay safe, study well.